to Ferns and Figs. Today I'm going to be showing you how to bake on top of your wood stove in a situation where you have no power, or you just want to do this for fun on top of your wood stove, baking just like you would inside your regular electric or gas range, or wall oven, whatever it is you're cooking in. So I've had several people ask how I made this lid for on top of my wood stove for baking. So today I decided to make a video and show you just exactly what I did. And remember, this whole point of this experiment for me was to try to create an oven-like atmosphere on top of my wood stove for baking cookies and such. This is a great off-grid situation if you have no power and you still want to bake and you have a wood stove. My wood stove is a flat top wood stove, and this drink tub just barely fits. I actually had to bend it just a little bit to get it to fit around the pipe and not hang off the front lip, but it works great. So I used a big drink tub that I already had available for my son's wedding 5 years ago. I just turned it upside down, and I'm going to show you that now and just walk you through. The drink tub is still available online for less than $20. So you could create this whole oven for less than $30, and that's way better budget plan for myself than anything that I've seen online that was available. I have the Coleman camp stove, but it's just a really small one. I want a bigger space, and I want to actually be able to bake a normal size 9-inch pancake or a sheet of cookies. I don't think a big cookie sheet's going to fit under this pan, but it's still a decent size. So I can use my little RV cookie sheets, and the whole point is to be able to cook and bake on top of my wood stove when I have no power. So here it is. This is the tub. It is available online, and I will, hopefully I can figure out how to attach the link. I'm so new to this. I bought this tub, and then here's the handle. It's just I picked this one because it has a nice space between the handle and the part that touches the lid. So, and also obviously it's metal. I just put 2 screws in here. Actually, my husband screwed these in for me, but it's super easy. You pre-drill the holes, screw in. I'll show you the underside. And then this thermostat, little thermostat, I got online as well. It rests. The only thing with this is just be sure that when you screw your hole initially, you make sure that it doesn't hit this lip on the corner here. So just set it in, pre-drill your hole just a little bit inside the corner, and I'm going to flip this over so you can see the inside. So here's the inside of my tub. As you can see here, this is the thermometer. The rod is pretty narrow, but it hangs into the oven about 2 to 3 inches. So I put mine in the corner because I wanted to make sure if I was cooking something tall that rose, like a cake or a loaf of bread or something, that being in the middle, it wouldn't have any conflict with bumping into the rod. And then here's the 2 little screws with nuts on them, and that is holding on my handle. And as you can see, there's a little bit of bend in my tub. This bend was just so when I have this tub sitting on top of my wood stove, it can go right up against the back pipe and not hang off the front lip of my wood stove. So I had to bend it just a little bit so that way it conforms to my wood stove surface that I have available. For the elevating, you have to have something that elevates your food off of the surface of your wood stove. This is something that I had. As you can see, it elevates off approximately 1.5 inches. And for me, it was important to have something that the airflow could still be circulating around underneath just like you would in an oven. It's not like a flat sheet. Your racks have holes in them. So I didn't want to use a pan because I thought that having the air be able to circulate all throughout the quote oven would be better. So this is what I use. You can use whatever you have on hand. They have lots of different things at the Goodwill that you could just get creative, like a metal plant stand, something that's about, I would say, approximately 2 inches, close to 2 inches. You want to elevate off the wood stove. I did try using a trivet my first time, and it was only about a 1/2 inch off the wood stove, and my cookies got too dark on the bottom before they were browned on the top. So I think about 1.5 to 2 inches, right around that height is sufficient. As you can see on my wood stove, this just is a tight, perfect fit. So you can see right here where I was talking about bending it a little bit because I didn't want it hanging on this lip. I will look up the dimensions and add those to the video when I'm editing this. So I have this temperature gauge that sits right on top of my wood stove. It's more accurate if I put it up in the front, but since my oven lid is up there, I had to move it to the back. So I do not have a fire going in here. I had one earlier, so it still has a low reading on there. But I will go ahead and start the fire, and once it gets up to about 400 degrees on the top of my wood stove, then I'm going to be able to bake inside my oven. So in addition to that, I have the thermostat as I showed you right here, so I can tell what the inside temperature is of the space in the air underneath this lid. So it's not going to be as accurate as your oven, but it's going to be pretty darn close that you can gauge when you're going to be able to start baking. And obviously when you lift this lid up, you're going to want to have your food already ready to just put under there and put this lid back on again, because it's like preheating your oven. Your lid's still going to be hot, but when you open it, it's going to lose a lot of that heat. So it won't take very long to get back up to temperature, but you know, you just want to watch your timer. Like I said, this is all an experiment. I haven't baked a cake or something that would risk falling. I've only done cookies and pizza so far. So we're gonna learn how to use this better together. So now I got my fire going, and let's see, it's just barely warm. Let's see, the thermostat's starting to go up. It's just below 200 right now. So we will see how long it takes to preheat this oven. So it's now been 15 minutes and my thermostat is at almost like 475. So that's way too hot for cookies. So I just turned on my fan on my wood stove and closed my dampener, and I'm going to get this heat down. So altogether, this whole lid cost me less than $30, but I already had the drink tub. So it would cost you less than $30 to make this. So not too shabby if you don't have power and you want to be able to bake still, just like you would be able to bake in your oven. But it works great so far, and like I said, I'm still experimenting, so I hope you will join me as I continue baking more things on top of my wood stove.